What is going on, everybody? I probably don't have to talk this loud, but I'm trying a couple things. I'm trying to live feed on the YouTube, and then I've got the wireless microphone going as well. But hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully all makes sense in terms of like getting everything to work right, I guess. So the first thing I got to do is set up the phone mount, and then I'm going to share this video somehow. Here we go. Click here, click there. So I'm just going to get this in here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using the Yak Attack phone mount. There we go. Should I go like that? Gotta find the right angle here. It's halfway decent. Sorry. All right. There, I think the microphone will work best right there. Turn on noise canceling. All right. Is there a way to see like comments on this or what? I don't know. I've never been live on YouTube before. Okay, the first thing I want to do is get this back hatch. I gotta find a way to get this into the hole. Okay, good. There's split wires here. That actually works really well. Okay, so this is the battery connector for the anchor. And I'm going to put the anchor wizard on alongside the new port. Something of this nature. Maybe I'll go backwards here. But I'm going to need another, what's it called? I'm going to need another plug. So I got to steal a plug from somewhere. I think I have a couple actually. So I think what I got to do is I'm going to install this first and then uninstall it basically. So that I can poke a hole, the right type of hole for it. If I can get this back battery kind of compartment settled, I'll be pretty happy today. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, to everybody. It's a different one for our family. My grandma passed away a week or so ago, and this is our first Mother's Day without her. She's still with us, of course, but just not physically here. It feels different. What I'm doing here is just putting this plate back on so that I can think about where I want to put the Yak Attack plug. Forget which one of these has it on. There's one. I could use the XL or normal. I think I need an XL. I might get away with a normal, actually. Let me go see if I can steal one from somewhere. No plugs in this thing. You probably still hear me. It's a good test of the Bluetooth microphone. Let's see. I know what I'm looking for. Hold on. Stop allergy season in its tracks. All right, found one. I made this old battery box a couple years ago, and I'm going to steal that plug from it. There's actually 2 plugs on this, but I don't need this battery box anymore. Let's take this one. All right, easy enough. Now the next hardest thing is just finding the right inserts for it. So I pulled out an old tackle box that I know I put those in. Let's take a look. These look like XLs. I mean, these will still work, I think, but it's not what I'm looking for. It's actually been a while since I've used the smaller ones. Maybe I'll have to use the XL. An extra XL. Let's go. All right, I guess I'm using an XL. Yeah, these are not XLs. But what I got to do is find the one that fits this wire here. So you basically, if I bring this over to the camera here, these are the size of wires I'm dealing with right now. So if I open this up and stick that wire in like this, that is a nice seal. So I know that this, what is this? This is a size 3. So if I can find another size 3, it is actually, there it is. Sweet. It's gonna work perfect. I need to go get a knife. I'll be right back. I should take this one too, because what you do is you just make sure that the cut on it is opposite the other one. Let me go do that. Well, long story short, a local showman has in fact been searching for missing dancing mice. But here's what is all right. So, as I step on my tools, 3 people watching. Sweet, sound off. All right, so that's the plug that I'm going to be using for the NK300 wiring here. Now notice that it's covered in this like protective sheath, I guess I'd call it. Now if you open it all the way up, I think I can slip this in there and it'll actually look perfect. So that's exciting. Then I just have to drill the hole and life is good. So before I go too far, I'm going to make sure that this fits the right size. Oh yeah, that'll fit perfectly. Sweet. Okay, so take these two. I wonder if I should bring you down here. Let's try that. All right, you're going to spin for just a moment. And let me just drop you right about here. All right. So this is the area I'm looking at. We're going to put the plug right here. That way this whole battery rig can just be hidden inside. And I actually don't have to do too much, to be honest with you. I'm noticing I can pull this whole thing down. Oh, look at that. I figured something out. I don't even have to split the wire. I can just shimmy this down. That's going to give me enough. Look at that. That gave me enough. So I don't really have to mess with this, to be honest with you. This can protect the cord and life is good because now I can just put, let's see, I think it goes this way. I can just put this on like this, right there. Just goes. Right like this. And so now that plug, I will have a seal, water seal, going into the kayak. And so really now it's just about drilling that hole. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is this drill bit. Got a lot of cool circular saw drill bit type things. This one's got the black pack in it, so that's how I know it's the right one. Take out that bit. And just to be sure, what you can do is just kind of fit it onto the plug. So if that's my plug, that's the hole I'm aiming for. So simple. And then get it in there. I'm normally torquing it like number 10. Sometimes it needs a little more. But then what you do is you take this and it becomes your pilot. So wherever you want your plug to eventually be, place it on there like that, and then use the plug as your guide for the hole. And once you have that, you can just have a go at it. Not quite centered, but that's all right. I need more torque. Woo. Now what I do is I'll keep it in there, and then you can spin it. It'll kind of melt the plastic a bit. Give it a better kind of, what's it called? And things in there. And the nice thing about this too is, well, let's see. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. I do have a couple extra one of these placards. I don't like to mess it up, but I got lucky with the Newport install that I didn't have to redo anything. So I'll take a couple today, I guess. Okay, so now we got the hole. It's a little off center. I don't love that, but beggars can't be choosers, you know. What I'm worried about now is the drilling of the holes on it. Should be okay. I gotta find my pilot hole driller thingy. Alright, so what is it saying? Why am I missing a bolt? That's weird. Well, these look like a very similar bolt. It should work. Or I'll steal one. Alright. That's weird. There were only 3 in that one. I'll probably steal one from the Yak Attack just to be sure. Alright, so let's go, I don't know, what are you, 5/64ths? 3 30-seconds. 3 30-seconds. Pilot holes are really helpful to get these blunt screws in. Okay. So, and then it's the same process pretty much. You're going to put that on. Kind of get it to where you want it to be. And then you're going to drill a pilot hole. I'm not very good with power tools, so don't judge me if I drill into my hand. But if I do, I guess that would make good TV. Okay. So now, how do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Now, I'll take this off. I'm really bad about putting tools back. Really bad at it. So, just making sure I do that. So now you can take this power cord and you feed it through the hole that you've created. Actually, no, hold on. You gotta feed it through the Yak Attack. Then you feed it through the hole. Pull that all the way through, and I might as well just dump this under for now. I'll have to grab it again. Oh, no. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I should dump it under. can always refix these wires. It's really about getting the right hole at the moment. All right. You can see how much wire this hides. It's awesome. All right, so I've got my power pole, and then I've got my what is this called? Newport. Okay, so now I've got this lined up and I can place it down like that. And I gotta come back through. Oh, found the other bolt. Good. There's 15 on it. No. Stay at 10. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the bees. Whoop, whoop. Maybe I dropped one. I don't know. Okay, first of all, we'll put the plate back on. Okay, and then now that the plate is on, you can drill into it for the plug. And you want to be kind of gentle with it. I think my pilot hole's got to be a little bigger here. My dad once told me you can always make a smaller pilot hole, but you can make a small one big, but you can't make a big one small. So let's try 7/64. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of a police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. I swear that's the same guy that just went by. All right, there's that. All right, we'll try this again. Hopefully this goes in a little bit easier. All right, there's one. A third one. That's an ambulance. Must be a crash. And I'm not going all the way into these either. I'm going until I can barely see it catch. And then I'm backing off because I'm gonna do the rest by hand. It's just smarter so that you don't strip the plastic. All right, I'm gonna steal one because I think 2 fire trucks, y'all. We got maybe a fire truck, ambulance. Something's going down. All right, I'm stealing one of the XL pins from my Black Attack. Yak Attack. Okay. There you go. The plug is set. So now I've got my Yak Attack. This one goes to the anchor, and this one is going to the Newport motor. That is awesome. Relatively sealed, and it will seal better as the seal gets kind of more used to being in there. Awesome. Now, what I really want to do is get the actual, what's it called? The mount back on. Okay, so what do I need here for the mount? I need these 4 screws, maybe? Next time I gotta make sure I keep track of all the different pins I'm using. Yeah, okay. So, in order to install the kayak anchor, you got to pull this off. Some people cut it, but I actually like having it for different reasons. You can always put it on something else. If you sell the kayak, you can always put it back on and make it look nice. It will cover up some dings. Wow, another one. So that's a three cops, an ambulance, a fire truck. It's like a big call. It was last year that right around this time, a house went up in smoke and flames right down the street, but this is what's crazy. Like, this thing can really turn. For the most part, you're going to keep it straight.
What are you thinking, Chris?
Just putting everything back together. You can see why people cut this, because it's so much easier to deal with. So this is all new wiring and rigging for me. That's why it's taking so long. But my whole goal today is to try to figure out how to keep things as clean as possible. The Newport motor brings in the X factor of having cables running down the side of my kayak where I put a lot of my gear track and my stuff. So, you know, trying to figure out how this is all going to come back together in a way that doesn't impact things, I think is going to be tricky for me. My neighbors are headed out. So annoying. I guess I could just roll it. I mean, it's coming. It's coming slowly, though. Hello. Ah, there we go. Dude, this thing looks so weird. I'm not gonna mess with it. All right, now this goes here, but you have to take it off so that you can put the gear track on it. So, I mean, the good thing about this is I installed the new port without even realizing that, but there's just enough clearance for that new port to work. Now that's pretty snug on the foot steering, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so now we can reinstall the gear track here. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta put in the mount too, mounting hardware. It's a whole thing, you know. It's never as easy as it looks when you're rigging a kayak, and you just gotta have a ton of patience. Some would say dexterity as well. There's that. I don't know if anyone's chatted. I don't know how to use this much very well. I assume that chats would show up. So, yeah. Can mute stuff. Oh, bunch of likes coming in. Okay, I see you. Oh God. Oh God. Party. Laughter. Party, laughter. Let's go. I have a feeling I know who that is. All right, come on. So I think in the future, my recommendation is install the power pole first and then install the new port. No. Because now I'm dealing with the difficult screws. Come on. This is not easy. Just got to get one, and the rest should fall into place. All right. Not easy. I also don't want to strip anything because these are molded bolts. You kind of only really get one shot at getting it right, which is the scary part. As long as they go in that first couple, I'm happy. All right. While I'm at it, I'm going to take this out. Okay. So now what you can do is you can just kind of make sure this is square. gear track back in. All right, making progress. And then I got that. Missing 2 screws. Well, I'm missing more than 2 screws, but for now, I'm looking for 2 screws. Dang it. I was worried this would happen, that I would lose screws. Oh, they're there. They just look like all the other screws. Okay, so now we can get this screwed in here. Okay. And then we're going to get the gear track side screwed in. Really like the power pole. I mean, it's worth its weight in gold. And I got it at just a ridiculous amount of price because I was buying one of my buddies' old kayaks, and it had the motor mount on it, or it had the mount on it. And at the time I didn't use it much. I mean, I haven't used it really at all, but this year I'm really finding it helpful to use in many situations. All right, so we're just going to tie this, get this down nice and snug. All right, well, there you go. So now what you can do is you can put the power pole back on wherever I put it. I have no recollection of where I put my power pole. But maybe it's in the car. See if it's in the car, testing audio, see how much range I get with this range. There's the actual power pole. I don't think I have the unit in here. I'll grab the pole for the picture. Oh, I just walked right over it. All right, there's that. This is the micro anchor, power pole micro anchor, and it needs to be fitted with the see, now that is interesting to me because it's very tight. So to get this on, you would typically drop it in here. Try not to pinch yourself. And then you would put this in one side. You'd slip this through the other. And then you got to match it all up. Make sure that it fits in there properly. There you go. Then you take your disc and you tighten it until it's properly fitted. There. All right, that is properly fitted. And how you know is when you flip it open. You know, if you were to pull the emergency cord, it should pop back up. That's kind of how you want it to pop up. So that won't move, and that will pop up. So that's what you're looking for. I go a couple clicks tighter when I'm traveling. And then this will run through and back towards here so that you can pull it from your seat. Okay, so there's that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do here, this is pretty much the back half of what I'm working with. I'm going to take these out. I really like the gear track in the bottom of the kayak because it allows you to do kind of different things with this back half here. So I take out that bungee, and then what I do is I went and got these TitanX tie downs, and I slip them in here. Just like that. So putting these down into the kayak. Hey, what's up, Watson TV? And then what I can do is I can use the very short NRS style straps, and I can strap the Blackpack Pro in. So now it's this cable that I'm trying to think about. This cable here is the power cord for the controller of the NK300. I think eventually I'm going to have it come through this power port as well, because the whole idea here is to keep things as clean as possible. So with this plugged in and the Newport motor plugged in, there's this random cable just flying around in my kayak, which can get caught on things, trip me, and all other sorts of things. But if I run it through this port, there's another port over there that I'll be able to run it to. But I need to find my old Yakutuk plugs to do that. But for now, I'm going to leave this on board up top, but it will be going under eventually. Just because the cleaner your deck is, the less issues you're going to have and less frustration. When you're kayak fishing in tournaments, it's all about how efficient you are on the water. In fact, I would say it's almost everything. Okay, so now this is where I'm kind of stuck. These gear track mounts, oh, you can't see that. These gear track mounts are being taken up by the different cables for the NK300. So if I have any kind of gripe, it'll be that. But I'm pretty sure in just watching videos and things about this setup is that these aren't going to get in the way that much, because you're not pulling on the cords to do anything with. Everything you're pulling on the cords for is now in the kayak thanks to the way I did the foot steering. So under that understanding, I should be able to put all this back on the kayak without any trouble. Let's see how this microphone noise canceling is holding up. We've had a lot of good tests. The Popo Rap went by, then the fire department went by. I should have taken a picture of my kayak because I don't even remember what it was like. I think I had stuff over here in the gear track, but what I'm going to do here is this is going to go on. This is the paddle holder. Very rarely used, but I like it. if I can find the gear track. This will go on nicely, and maybe this will be less. There we go. Right, so the paddle holder, I think I'm going to have the paddle holder actually quite high. Because when this goes back on, maybe I can run the cord almost through the paddle holder, something like that. That might be interesting. So if I put this back on, get that eyelet sorted. Okay. That way I can pull this and it won't be too bad. Or I just run it on the outside. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Or I'm seeing angles here, right? Do I put this closer up? This just has to get around the black pack, to be honest with you. So if I do something like this and keep it further back, it will avoid that. You see that? I kind of like that angle better. Yeah, I like that better. It's going to be one of those, definitely rigging this, that I try a couple different times. My boy went to the gas station, came right back. Okay, now I can use this eye bolt there so that when it pulls away from that, and the paddle, if it's here, will be on top of that. So okay, that makes sense to me. I'm going to do it on the other side. Hope you're enjoying this rigging video. It's kind of real time what us kayak anglers deal with all the time. We rig, we re-rig, we think. We change stuff. We do it again. We do it all over. It's basically our lives. Okay, so that's going on there. Sweet. Okay. Oh, this has to go on the front. See what I mean? Like, you're just constantly... And I try to think about this stuff first, but you always forget something. All right, so this one I put like right here. Okay, goes there. All right, and now if I ever have to, I can pull this, and you should see the NK go up. Pull that, NK's up. And you probably want to make sure that it's relatively straight when you do so. So that you don't bend that arm. I've been reading about this arm that gets bent. Something like that. Okay, that works. And it doesn't put a whole ton of stress on. You know what? I really want to put this under. Oh well. Because now what I got to do is get the black pack on and just make sure that it fits. Can't remember if it's full of something or not, but we will see soon. If I throw my back out on live, you throw your back out on live. Okay. Pick it up. Okay. First test of the Black Pack Pro. This is the bigger one, much larger backpack, Black Pack. Okay, all these things still work. That works. Perfect. Okay, that works really well, actually. Because now these angles are all correct, right? Like, see how it goes right around the Black Pack? A little bit of rub, but like I said, you're not going to be using these as much as I thought. They're more for like, this one's for reverse and the other one's to pull it up if you ever need it. I might pull it up more often, so we'll see how that all works. I could put the eye there, couldn't I? Nice and high. That's interesting. That is like the perfect angle right there. What is that emoji? Okay, so oh, I see what that is. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna remind myself of this, but I also like the camera mount. So I can remind myself that I could put it on top of this to get the perfect angle, then there's no rub, but I don't think I have to right now. That is a view, though, of all the stuff we did today in the back here. Now I got to get all this stuff. This is all the guts and wiring of the kayak. Okay. To do that, I'm going to get this on the trailer so that I can come at it from a different angle. So I got to put this back on. I have to think about how I want my cockpit set up. What's crazy is by the time I get done with this whole rigging video, I will essentially have made a bass boat for myself. There is very little left that I can buy that wouldn't set me up for success. Like, at this point, I've already gone off the deep end and drowned in the deep end. So curious to see how well this holds. It's kind of scary. Pull the motor up. Get it set where it should be. And then I'm going to change that if I have to. Yeah, the motor does twist. It hits that a lot. Interesting. Okay. Oh. Very interesting. Very difficult to get it on the trailer. From a rolling position, that's kind of scary. Because, oh, take that out. The back is much heavier now because of the motor. Which is actually a good thing in my opinion, because but it's almost imbalanced. Interesting. I'm gonna balance it for now. I'm gonna put the motor down, and then I think I'm gonna take the motor off, because it doesn't need to be on right now. All right, so motor's down. It'll be good practice for taking it off. You basically just undo these here, undo that there. Undo your steering. Okay, then you pull this pin and loosen this. Okay, don't pull that pin, you pull this pin. Which I just bent. That's probably why they give you a couple of these. That also doesn't instill confidence that it's a very strong pin, does it? All right, so unplug it. Pull this, and then you get your battery back, or you get your motor back. All right, I think there's some extra step I need to do on this motor. It shouldn't slide like that. I think that's what that thing's for. But I'll figure that out later. Just pin back in. These pins scare me. If anybody has an idea for the other type of pin I could put in here, let me know. Because this pin's already falling out. That's why they gave me extras, but I might go to a split ring or something of that nature. All right, now I just have all this stuff back here, but that's all right. Power plug is good. Yak attack is back on. I'm going to replace this power cord eventually, but let's go work on the cockpit. And the first thing we got to do, I think, is get well, we have the live scope. Yeah, that's interesting. Very, very interesting, because my live scope I typically use with my right hand, but I've set the controller up on the left. I think I should put the controller on the left and keep my live scope on the right. So let me do that first so I can look what that looks like. Starting to get warm, still kind of cool. All right, now you can see the full kayak. Starting to look nice, didn't it? I'll take off my sweater, so pardon any interference here with the microphone. All right. Yeah, so for me, I don't use, my right hand is, this is the controller. And, oh man. There we go. Whew. That is tight. I don't think I'm actually going to use this but this controller is going to mess with my ability unless I drop it, right? Unless I keep it really low. That might work. But for now, I think I'm just going to take it away from the annoyingness of being like in my way. For live scope, and I'm just gonna put it on the left side here. I don't really use these tackle tracks much at all, so I'm not really adverse to putting something above them, which would block me from. I put bait bags in there for sure, but I kind of have an idea of where my seat's gonna go. And this is already presenting itself on the left side of the yak. So if anything, I can flip it. Something to this nature. There. Have that like that. That way I can reach it. It's definitely a new cockpit, that's for sure. I've got the foot steering as well. That's in the way now. I haven't cut strings yet. I'm too scared to cut them because I don't know if I've fixed it perfectly yet. But now I can get the live scope in. Can I take my hat off? Shoot. Okay. So now what I'm seeing here is the foot steering is right kind of where you would put the plug. So I'm glad I put that in first before like drilling into a plug, because you would have cut it by accident. Okay. Got a yak power charger here. This thing has never really worked for me, but it's there. All right. So now this here is my transducer cord, and this is going to want to go to the front of the kayak. So we can try to send it that way to the best of our ability. It likes to curl up though. That should be enough of it. And you got this here. I mean, the other side of it though is this has already given me a place to. It's one of those you got to see. It's giving me a spot to mount another wire because I've already installed the plug, so I could put another wire in there. Just gonna have this go down in there. I barely ever use this charger. Just had it because it's just something to have on there. Yeah, now I'm starting to think this is what I want to see, right? I got to get the live scope mount. That'll help me envision everything and also figure out how high stuff has to be. So where's that sucker? There he is. So this would go in here like this. All right. Normally I would put it there. So I need to take this off. What's fun for me is the cockpit of the kayak is probably one of the most important elements of your build. It's where you spend your entire time doing what you love. So if your cockpit's not perfect to your liking, to the point where it's muscle memory, where you can reach around and grab what you need at the perfect time, then you're kind of wasting your time. What I like about this bevel, it's already more straight than the last one. My last one curved in a little bit. It was almost like it was warped. Okay, so here's the moment of truth, right? This is the live scope arm. My bad. Okay, so this is the live scope arm, right? And if I want to be able to control the motor sits like that. See that? And the issue is if I'm live scoping, it's gonna hit the motor arm. And that's what I talk about with, like, when you want to be thinking about where things go, right? And the other thing is to lift the motor, there's a pulley here that's going to block, it's going to just get caught up on all this stuff. And so I think what I'm actually going to do is reverse this, because I don't want that occurrence. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I have kind of an idea. But it also, if you think about it in terms of cockpits, is sectioning off the areas in some important ways. And that's, oh, you want to move forward, you want to have some power. Your left hand is now controlling the motor, and your right hand controls the live scope. So now, if I take this and put it back over here, not only that, but it feels much more out of the way. And because it's already on the left side of the kayak, I don't have to worry too much about rigging a plug for the left side here, because now that it's over there, let me show you. Now that live scope's installed, I can see that I can take this cord and install it into this. That's going to take all the cords off the cockpit area and leave me a lot of freedom to fish almost like I was without this, but also at the same time, like, really not feel the difference of like having it on, I guess you'd say. Like, the whole idea is to like not notice it and have it just become part of your like your get up. So like the big thing for me for rigging is like you can have a lot of cool stuff, but if it gets in the way, then you're just less efficient on the water. And who wants that? You know, you're spending time and money to fish. You should spend all your time and money fishing, not screwing around with your setup. All right, now I've got my power button, which I kind of like up here, maybe. Right like that. That way I can turn things on and off, or where to put the power button. I guess I can keep the whole theme of power on the right-hand side. Let's go like right here. Okay. Now I got my Bluetooth power button installed. Right like that. Sweet. Got my throttle installed. This is a cord I gotta cut. I think this works, so I'm feeling confident in cutting it, but it is scary. Can always buy new ones. And then there's that one I gotta cut. But for this one too, actually, now that I think about it, I gotta put a cleat on the right-hand side. So I've got this Yak Attack XL cleat that I think is gonna be better for putting the motor on. And there's a quick and easy way of figuring out how far that has to go. This is the cleat, and it's going to help me with the mount here. But I got to go fix something in the back. I just felt it catch something. It'll be pretty fun fishing in this. All right, perfect. So the whole idea here is when you have to lift your motor out of the water for whatever reason, you got to tie it off on a cleat. But you know, making sure you can reach it is important, and then making sure this whole system doesn't fail. Also important. And actually, do this right. Then I can fit the live scope perfect way. There you go. So now I can have that there, and if I have to pull it up, I just cleat it there. When I don't need it, it will retract all the way back there. That's sick. That makes me feel good. Okay, good. We're moving. We're moving. Let's go. Vamos. Vamos. I have my phone over here. Okay, now what else I got? What else I got to do? What else I got to do? I think wiring is next. So that's some of the cockpit. What's up, Emily White? Hope you're having a good Mother's Day, actually. Hope the kids are doing something special for you. I've got like 15 more minutes until I get to go celebrate with my mom and help her and the family remember Grandma, which is going to be fun. All right. Now to the nightmare that is rigging up the electronics. All right, so that's going to all happen up here, and it's going to be kind of a dance of how I want to do this, I think. Do I want to do a transducer mount right now? Not really. Not really at all. So I don't know if I will. You know what I mean? I should get all the wiring all figured out. So to do that, let's get the transducer. Okay, got my transducer here. I got the spine coming in. All right. So the way this works is I've got two fish finders, right? And with those two fish finders, they connect into what's called a NEMA system. And this NEMA system is pretty interesting because it allows my GPS monitor to tell me where I am in space and time. And so organizing all these cords is just like kind of a headache, but also kind of fun when you have to do it. This looks like the better mount. This is the live scope mount, I think. Right? No, there's no way. Oh, yeah, it is. It's clean. I put some cleaning grease on it. It's done a really good job. This used to be the dirtier one. All right. So the way this all works is, you know, I put this in here. Pop it in. There it goes. All right. I love the ram mounts because they're very free and independently moving. And on the water, if I have to stand up, I just turn it whenever I need to. With the yak attacks, which are really good for stabilizing things like your controller or your rod holders, I don't want any movement there, so I go yak attack. But for the ram mounts and things that I want to move quickly, I go with the ram mount. I just find it easier for me. So that's the first fish finder in, and now I've got the second fish finder. Again, you open up the ram mount, pops in. I think I have some students in the chat just spamming something. If you know who I'm talking about, let's see. If you're a Phoenix, throw up I don't know, throw up a rainbow in the chat if you're a Phoenix. I don't know if that's an option. Or if you're a Phoenix, throw up a laughing face. That way I'll know. Okay, so let's go. What up, Phoenix? Okay, power cord. This one's important. We want this to go straight into our power connectors. This looks to me like a transducer. Oh no, this is Panoptics. Okay. So I've got this is the NEMA system. This is the backbone system. Okay, and this NEMA system also operates and connects into the GPS monitor. So this is how I know where I am in space and time on the water and how far off north I'm facing. Most people don't use this as much, but when I was the first up and coming angler, it was really important to me to know exact casts and angles and boat position. And so I think that's the teacher in me as well. I still find it very, very useful. If you don't, that's fine. Keep doing what you do. You're leaving more fish out there for me. Okay, so this whole spinal system can sit in here. And then it has its own power needed. So this goes to, what is this NEMA here? Did I have two going to it? Maybe I had two NEMA systems. Oh, that'd be cool. Because then that's Panoptic. Maybe I had this wired wrong the whole time now that I'm looking at how to do it again. It's Panoptics. This is power. Okay. Then comes one of the more important parts. This is the Bluetooth switch. So this switch tells each thing what to turn on. And the way I want it wired is when I click number 2, or no, this is my first graph. So I'll connect this to the number 1. So this then becomes the connection for number 1 going to the graph. All right. Then I have power to graph number 2, the live scope graph. So these cords then connect to number 2. Okay, now in order for my NEMA system to work, it also wants to be connected. So the NEMA system, I typically connect to what I'm calling bow. bow for me is where the magnet or the GPS is mounted, so it makes sense that it would be called bow. That's where it's located. Get all these wires situated. Okay, so then I have the power mount here. I have the connector for live scope. All that sits there. All right, now let's see what else we got. Okay, so just like the Black Hawk has a black box, so does live scope. This is the live scope computer. It is the most important part of the entire operation. See if I got that live scope wire right. No, I didn't. Oh well. Okay, so eventually you're gonna plug your live scope into this. But it's too far for my reach. Maybe I could reach it with something. Let me try to reach it with something. Let's try to use my handy dandy safety flag. We're gonna try to reach down in there, grab the cord. Bring it towards me. Nope. Yes, it worked. And I know now I can store my safety flag in the kayak. Okay. So, whew, that was the easiest I've ever done that. So your live scope cord is going to connect into the giant XDR plug, XDCR, like that. That gives us access to live scope. This live scope transducer network plug will go to the hub. And then it has its own power cord, which I put next to my drill. Okay, so here's the live scope power cord. Pull that power cord off, plug it in. Making better progress than I thought it would today. All right, now this whole thing, the way I had it, kind of sits like right here in the kayak. Don't know if this is the right or best thing for it. I think I would say no, but that's where I've got it for now. Okay, don't judge me. Now the power cord itself needs to wrap around and will eventually be plugged into the batteries that go in the front cockpit. And this now has, oh yeah, I gotta run that. Mid-stern or mid-boat, I don't normally use. The stern goes to the anchor, so I gotta find some way to get that all the way up here. Forget what I did last time. I think I used a coat hanger. But for all intents and purposes, this is now ready to rock and roll. I just don't have an anchor. But who needs an anchor? All right. So here's a 23 plus 36. That's like almost 60 amp hours worth of 12-volt batteries. Oh, this is a TitanX 12.5 that I'm working on right now. All right, so this sits in here like that. Probably can't see this very well. Turn it. Okay, so my live scope, when it needs to be connected, typically goes to the 23 amp hour, and then the switch cable typically goes to like a 36 amp hour. I don't think it really matters right now. And then the nice thing here is all these wires, you know, where you're like, this is too much. There's so many wires. That's how it feels. But all these wires can be managed by this really cool cable manager here. And you just want to make sure that all your cables are kind of laying on top of each other in the right way. Not that one. So we got this here, we got this here, we got this here. It's basically these ones, right? These cables here are the ones you want to have right about there, right? Let's actually pull that one out a little more. And then what you can do is they've left this piece. And this piece is really cool because you take all your cables, place them in there, and then they just lock in right there. And that is how you manage all of them, which I really appreciate that they put in. Because now I don't have to worry about cables getting in the way of my stuff. And for the most part, I just kind of pull them like this so that I can get my drive in. And they also help keep this wire down so that when it comes time to like plug up, get everything plugged in, you know, typically I would manage this a little bit better, but you know, it can sit something like this. And then you just plug your power cords in. So it's not perfect, but it's clean enough for me. And when I really want to be kind of fancy, once I get all this kind of done the right way, then I just strap it down. But I don't have my deucer in yet, so I'm not going to do that. But for right now, this could technically go out and fish with at least the live scope. There you go. Take that. Take that. And our front hatch is electrified. So aside from the anchor, that's pretty much all the electricity I need to do. The anchor and the transducer are the last two things to be working on right now. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to finish up some of this cockpit area and just kind of talk you through it But for the most part, I'm feeling pretty good for today. Yeah. It's just this transducer has to go to the bottom. I get to keep one of these mounting plates. That's nice. The other mounting plate I already had mounted with the Guardian Angel. Not Go Guardian. The Guardian Angel plate mount. What lake? I don't know. I'd like to gear up for St. Clair, to be honest with you. It's a lake that can get kind of gnarly, but having a motor out there, I feel like, is a big difference. But also, in a week, we have a Michigan Kayak Trail tournament on White and Muskegon Lakes on the west side of Michigan. So, yeah, a lot of good things coming up. It's going to be a nice summer, I think. Just having something I can take out. This is obviously like a tournament boat. I mean, this is a bass boat. This is a 12-inch bass boat, 12-foot bass boat is what it feels like. And then see what I mean? So I got like the power to the front kayak here, power to the motor here, power to my safety lights here. And so what's really kind of emerging is the left side of the kayak has become power, and the right side of the kayak will be functionality. Does that make sense? That will help a lot. Now with functionality, I have these black packs, which I would like to install here. I think I had them back here behind me, and they were nice behind me, but they were sometimes kind of there, and they were difficult to access. I feel like if I had them up here, I'd be doing more with them. But I want to make sure I've got everything I need on here first, like my paddle holder. So sorry, I gotta move y'all again. My wife should be coming out at any moment to tell me we gotta go to Mother's Day stuff. So trying to race the clock here a little bit. All right. So if I remember correctly, my old kayak had this right around here at an angle, because what was nice about having it at an angle is I could have my kayak paddle perfectly situated up there, and then it served as a rod holder if needed. So I'm gonna put that on there like that. Flip those. I get my rod holder on there like that. Sweet. And then over here is where I like to have one of the camera mounts up front. All right, so my camera mount can go here. Cool. I guess these got to go back to where they were. But to do that, I got to take these out. Sorry, you can't see me. If I want to go full storage, I want to put them here, like I had them last time. And then I had a, what's it called? A couple rod holders back here too. That being said though, I'm pretty much ready for launch. If all I'm worried about is track items now. Got to get this installed. I can do that later. But sweet. Let me just pack up a bit. Oh yeah, this will be important to get on too. This might take precedence over this. This is a retractable, whatever doohickey it's called. Will that mess with my steering? It will. So this actually does need to move. I could probably move backwards. Or it could go right here. No, functionality. Functionality has to be on the right-hand side. I'm going to table this one. This one I'm not too sure about. The benefits of having it versus not having it so that I don't have to worry about kicking it with my foot steering. I think I'm going to keep that one off for now. Because yeah, I mean, ultimately the last thing to do is the rudder. I want to put some more typically I have that right there so I could access it from behind myself. This little plug I will probably use for this thing, because even the wire gets hot. All right, cool. That's about all the rigging I have in me right now. A couple hours worth of work. But yeah, sweet. All right, well, that's a lot of work to get a lot of this kayak ready to go. It is really exciting because when I kind of think back on all the stuff I've done on it, it is essentially a brand new kayak with a motor, foot steering, live scope, down scan, side scan, traditional scan, the Anchor Wizard, a Yak Attack black box, and enough power to last an entire day. I mean, what a blessing. You think about it, you know? My God, what a blessing. So I bow my head to all the things in my life that have helped me get to this moment. This is like year 5 or 6 in tournament fishing, and there's a lot to it. There's a lot of time and money involved. So having a rig that I'll be happy with for years to come, I'm very blessed, and that feels really nice. So speaking of blessings, it is now time to go hang out with my mom, who I love very much and who has honestly blessed me with everything and more. So it's not all material. It's important to spend time with the people you love while you have time with them. So if that's your situation, you know, and I'll be honest with you, I'm adopted. Family means something different to me because my whole family doesn't have any blood relationship to me. but yet they're still family, and they still gave their lives for me. You know, they spent their whole lives on me, working on me, trying to make me a better person. So, you know, it doesn't have to be blood. Whoever you consider your mother or whoever has that role in your life, you make sure you thank them today. Make sure you spend time with them today, or at least reach out and let them know how much they mean to you. Like, it's everything. So you make sure, what's up, Smiley, dude? You make sure that, like, you make sure that you tell someone in your life how much they mean to you. It's the only thing that matters to me anymore. So, you know, work and fishing and having the best kayak money could buy, that's great, but it will never replace your family. It will never replace your mom. So take some time and let her know. All right. Sounds good. We'll see you later. I don't know if this is going to post or not, but have a good one, y'all. Peace out. Happy Mother's Day. Llama.